We're back in solo queue to reach Mythic using every hero just once, and as it's tradition in this series, Hanzo gets banned. So, we're going to play 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐜 today. 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐜 is one of the strongest, if not the strongest jungler in the early game. And today, I will show you how you fully use his early game potential, so your enemies won't have any chance to make a comeback. Today's shoutout goes to 𝐺𝐸𝐿. Like before, write the hero I should play next into the comments. As I already mentioned before, prioritize small items like Fury Hammer as your first item if it fits your build. Fury Hammer, for example, gives you plus 12 physical penetration, which removes almost all physical defense of your enemy, until they start to get physical defensive items. 𝐃𝐻ED's first skill deals an insane amount of damage in the early game, so he is a perfect hero to invade the enemy's jungle early on. Pan around the map like I do here to check which buff the enemy is taking first. And after you heard which they take first, clear the other one. Most players clear the blue buff first, so you do the opposite and steal the red buff. In higher ranks, you could be blocked by the enemy's mid laner and roamer, but down in Epic and Legends, the enemy's red buff is your red buff. Also make sure to hide the buff in the bush like I do here. On level 2, you already have a huge power spike because of your second skill. Let me quickly demonstrate to you what I mean. Now we finish our rotation by clearing our 2 buffs and gank the XP lane first. Why the XP lane? The turtle spawns first next to the XP lane. And to be able to clear it safely, we need to kill or at least scare the enemy's XP laner away first. So our XP laner is free to help us with this task. Always make sure to use your commands to signal that you want to attack. Have a bit of patience and don't show yourself until you reach the enemy. 2 kills after 100 seconds. Not bad, eh? Here you can see what happens when you steal the buff of the enemy's jungler. Yin will be stuck on level 3 for a long time, and most junglers are useless until they have reached level 4. Quick question for you. Would you try to fight both of them or retreat? Retreat is the right option. Before you start to fight, you have to look at the map. Julian is pretty low and won't be helpful, and Lilia is one of the strongest early game mages. You don't want to risk anything now because we already have the lead. So, better just clear a small jungle camp while waiting for the turtle to spawn. And make sure to send a command what is your next plan. Stealing jungle creeps is not a good idea, by the way, Julian. Junglers can only farm with jungle creeps in the first 5 minutes. So you only hurt your jungler and your team if you steal their creeps. I can tell you these facts because Yin is not even attempting to contest the turtle, which is smart because he needs to farm and become level 4 first. So now we fight Lilia once more, right? Wrong. She has her ult available and can retreat into her turret, so I don't just attack her mindlessly and better let her waste her ult. Random dragon appears, but he seems to be lost after getting killed before, so we just tell Julian to push if we haven't noticed that the dragon abandoned his lane. I think I don't need to tell you that you shouldn't leave your side lane, right? Since he is now top, we also rotate top for the next gank. As jungler, you always want to rotate to the place where the action is happening. Lilia is bot, so we won't be outnumbered, which is a crucial information. If your enemy is as careless as our dragon friend though, we don't even need to worry about that. We just clear the gold crab quickly and Cyclops died and oh! Well, that would have gone wrong if we wouldn't have our golden XP lead. I honestly just forgot that Yin is immune to CC effects while using his skill. So yeah, it's still a win for our team, since we killed 2 of them while they only killed Cyclops. We just proceed to clear the jungle of the enemy, so Yin falls even more behind in farm. Here the clearing speed of 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐜 really helps a lot. Against a single target, his damage is really insane. I saw our poor Julian got hunted, so let's help him to escape from the giant lizard. Oh, hi Yin, let's play a bit... Okay, then not. If you don't want to play with me, I will steal your blue buff instead. Our team starts to snowball now. Cyclops and Julian just took down Vali and Lilia, so we have another free turtle. While Clint also kills Layla once more. The baby lizard is already 3 levels behind us. Mostly because he abandoned his lane. Man, I don't get these players. I don't need to risk anything tower diving him though. Just go back to farming and prepare your next gank. While clearing the creeps, you don't need to look how you murder these poor creatures. I just saw on the map that Lilia used her ultimate. That means she is another free kill for me. Now we reach the point where we will win any gank basically. So the next step is to assert your dominance by pushing non-stop. Every gank should be made to be able to take another objective anyway. So after killing Lilia, we stay on the lane, push the turret away and keep looking at the minimap. What do you see? Yes, the baby lizard is pushing mid, and the blue buff is about to respawn. We should defend our middle turret, but I decided to take the blue buff. It's not a game-breaking mistake, but I still want to point out anything that I did wrong. Next, I keep ruining Yin's day by stealing another buff, and we take down Valier. Remember to keep farming though. Many players start camping forever and try to kill the next enemy, while they should focus on farming more. A goldie disappears when you stop farming, so never forget to keep farming. While telling you this, we take down Lilia and the baby lizard again. And I made another small mistake. Do you know what I'm doing wrong? If you have a look at the timer, you see we reached the 7-minute mark. And at minute 8, the first Lord is spawning. If you dominate a game like we do, you should not clear the turtle now so the Lord can spawn on minute 8. Now we have to wait until minute 9 that the Lord spawns. Again, not a major mistake, but something you might remember in your next match. Next, we steal another buff from Yin, finally push the middle turret away, and we see what happens when you're almost 4 level above your enemy. Yin even dies in his own domain fighting Clint. So instead of fanboying now how much we destroy the enemies, we need to talk about what the enemy could do to somehow turn this match around. Although Layla is a pretty bad hero, because she is super dependent on her team to survive the early to mid game, her late game is really strong. So whether you or your ally plays Layla, the only chance you realistically have is getting Layla fat enough that she can actually deal enough damage to us. And to do that, you need to stall the game. You don't leave your safe zone anymore, which are your turrets, and just farm, protect the turrets that are left, and farm even more. Avoid any gank unless you manage to catch an enemy in a 5v1. You should also tell your allies that they should stop fighting and just keep farming. Yes, I know, many players will ignore it because they don't even know the basics. You need to try your best to convince them to do the right thing. Your feeding and dumb allies are not doing their mistakes on purpose. They do them because they don't know it any better, and are most likely as pissed about the current game as you are. Unless they are trolling, but trolling mostly starts because of the toxicity of their own team. The good thing in lower ranks is that the chance for a comeback is way higher than in the higher ranks, simply because many players don't know how to finish a match. So don't give up yet, and try your best to level out the field. Don't forget that every hero only has 6 item slots. Once the enemy has their full build, they can't become stronger anymore, and you can start to catch up to them. What you should never do is what Lilia does here. Why would you go outside of your base alone and use a rival for that? It's almost certain that you will get ganked and killed in a couple of seconds. The enemy also did the worst thing possible. They went all in into a gank and tried to fight us. It's like you try to run headfirst into a wall and expect the wall will break. Walls are stronger than your head bones though. So I just finished to take the Lord, and Yin tries for the 100th time to kill Clint, which won't work. He didn't even lost a single point of HP. So I won't waste any second of your time, because the result is obvious. We get a couple more kills and end the game without any worries. There's a wrap GG, another gold medal. If you take a look at Yin's gold, you see what happens when you non-stop steal his farm. What you can do against him when he managed to get farmed though, you will find out in my counter guide, where I explain how to counter Yin, Estes, Aldok and Hanzo. You can also watch the whole rank up to mythic series of course. See you over there!